What's going on, guys? Welcome back, ouch, to our Let's Play here on the Amplify Console Edition. Yeah, it's a long overdue welcome back. It's been probably about a month or two since I played Minecraft now on the console. And that is purely because of the sort of implementation of the Bedrock Edition. Ouch. Let's get out of that view. Now, what they have gone ahead and done is that what I believe they're now doing is that they are now rolling out new updates for the console edition as well as the Bedrock edition, because they're having to update the PlayStation version of the console edition because the PlayStation wouldn't allow the Bedrock edition, because it was then going to force their customers to go and get an Xbox Live account, and no company is going to send their customers to a rival competitor, I think the word is. So like a rival company of theirs to go sign up for an account just so that they can play the game. And then Microsoft obviously didn't want to lose their entire customer base from the PlayStation thing. So they've gone ahead and they're continuing, they're continuing to update the console edition. And because they're doing that, they're also going to be running out the updates for the Xbox One console edition, which I'm extremely happy about, which is put a very positive sort of enthusiastic, what is the word? It's a very positive outlook now, because beforehand when I was coming on to play, it was a case where they weren't going to update the console edition, so everything I was building would eventually just not work on the Bedrock edition. And now that they are updating it, and they've actually updated it recently enough that now you can fill cauldrons with potions. The armor stands, you can change the way that they look. And as you can see from our storage room, I got rid of the double high step because they've actually gone ahead and fixed it so we can open the chest from down here again. Which is probably one of the best things that they could have done for me, because now I can actually start carrying on working with the storage system. But enough about that. Today we are working on... I actually want to get some full auto villager farms up and running. And I've come up with a design in my redstone world. It uses a mechanic that has been used before a number of times in PC and console edition by using the darkness. Have we got any baby villagers yet? Yeah, for some reason when I loaded up my world, because I've switched over to the new Xbox One X and I had to sync the world over to this one, I had like 7 villagers here ready to be sorted that I didn't have beforehand. But I think we've actually reached the villager cap in this area. So let me try to get some flight here. So instead of moving some of the villagers from down there up to where I want the villager farms, which is going to be up on this top bit here to feed the crops that I want to go down below, I'm more than likely just going to use the farmers that we've actually got over here in our breeder. And I'm probably going to tear this breeder down and then make a new breeder far enough away that it's not got these loaded. So then I can still get new villagers and then I can just transport them over to here. Which is meaning that I will more than likely have to move Dave again over to the new villager breeder that I will create at some point. But I think our villager trading hall, we've got most of the books there ready to go that we need. Like we've got our mending, efficiency, sharpness, fortune. I think we've got a silk touch one down there as well. So yeah, we've got most of the guys that we actually want to be trading with there. We just need the crops and stuff to get the emeralds from the farmers to be able to do the trades. So I will be tearing this one down. We've got 3 farmers in here. The design that I've got will only use 1 farmer per farm. So what I'm going to do now is hop over into my redstone test world to show you how it all works. So it will be a lot easier for me to explain it in there than it would be over here. So yeah, I guess I'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, now we're over in my redstone test world, as you can see by the numerous random contraptions behind me. And I keep on getting stuck. I need to try to remember the buttons. It's been quite a while since I played. As you can see, I was playing around with the armor stands, and to change it, you just sort of like crouch and then left click, and he does a weird little funky dance through all the different poses. There's also new mechanics that you can fill the cauldrons with potions. So let me just quickly grab a cauldron. Let's just grab, you can do it with splash potions or normal potions. So, like, you can fill them, and that is extremely loud. But if you try to mix the potions, you'll get like an explosion, which is unfortunate because I'd like it to be able to that you can actually mix them in cauldrons. That would have been a nice little added bonus. So then you can have like multiple potion effects in one potion. But yeah, you can fill them all, and then you can also get arrows. This is a really convoluted way of doing it if you wanted to do it this way, but you can then get the tipped arrows by, how is it you do this? What potion did oh, that was because it's just water. If we do that, we get the slowness, and then you just left click the arrows on them, and for 3 potions worth in the cauldron you get 4 tipped arrows, which isn't too bad a trade-off, I guess, if you want to use the potion tipped arrows. But it's a nice little added feature, so that's handy. But the farm that we're building is going to be this design. Now, how it works is basically you've got one farmer here. The area down in here is dark enough to make the crops pop up. So he'll come over here, plant one, and then what you just saw there is a block updater using the observer block. Because, let me just hop over to this little section here. Now, what happens is, first of all, we need some potatoes or carrots. Now, what happens is that as soon as you plant it, this observer will take it as a block update or send a signal down to the sticky piston, which will then kick this one out, re-updating this block, making it pop up, like so. Now, if this observer wasn't here, the darkness alone will not make the crop pop up in the console edition. But in the Bedrock edition, if you are watching this and you're on the Bedrock edition, this farm will work for you the exact same way, except for you don't need the block updater, because when it is dark enough, as soon as you plant a crop, it will pop up automatically. But for this one, you do need the updater, unfortunately. But it works just as well, and it's just as simple. It's very simple to do. Let me just grab another observer and bust out of there. Gotta make sure that it's facing the right way. Do that. And we need a hoe. Grab you. And then grab some more red blocks to make it dark again. And then with the updater, it will then pop up. Now that's the exact same device. It's very simple. The observer is just here, just a little redstone line repeater running into the sticky piston, which will then send the block to update it. And now the farm whole thing here, I'm only going to be building half of it because this guy, what he does, I think their coding is designed that they would, it's planting crops is overriding by harvesting. So they will always attempt to plant a crop before harvesting a crop. So if there's an empty crop plot, they will always plant one. So as soon as he harvests one, he sort of runs back there to try to plant it onto that one. Now, if you can see over here, I've actually had to just bust open this, and that is not what I wanted to happen at all. Let's get rid of this water quickly. What I've had to do here is I've had to force a hopper minecart into the dirt block that the farmer is planting on. And that's purely because if the crop would pop up, the hopper minecart placed underneath the dirt block would not pick the crop up before the farmer did. So I had to force it into the dirt block to make it actually work, which is what I'll be doing in my actual world. We need to get the water back in there, like I saw. And we need a block just up here to stop the farmer from walking into the water. And then, yeah, so he'll just go there, and then that hopper minecart just feeds into a line of hoppers, which then feeds into this chest. And as you can see, it's been working pretty well. Now, I did initially plan on having half potatoes, half carrots. Oh, he's actually made it over to the other side. I think that's because this one didn't pop up. Oh no, he's just ventured off, but you've got the same system on the other side as well. So I initially did have this split down in the middle with a glass barrier in the middle going above the lily pads, and having one side carrots, one side potatoes with a farmer on either side. But on the very rare occurrence that would happen is that the farmer on the right would harvest the crop at the exact same time as the farmer on the left, and instead of locating their empty crop plot on their side, they would locate the one on the opposite side, and they would just get locked in a staring competition because the one on this side would want to plant a crop on this side, and then the one on this side would be wanting to plant a crop on this side, but they wouldn't be able to get from side to side. So I had to sort of scrap that initial plan, and now I'm gonna go for the plan where I'm gonna have one of these columns on the left on a lower level, and then one of these columns on the right on a higher level, and I'm hoping that the farmers don't see the crop plots below or above that are empty. That is my hoping anyway. I don't know whether or not it's going to work that way, but yeah, that's the hope and dreams of it. Basically, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get started building the actual farms before moving the farmers in there, and I'll probably do a quick time lapse of me cracking on with that. Then I'll bring you back for moving the farmers in. So yeah, again, I guess I'll see you back in a sec. Alright then guys, I thought I'd bring you back quickly while cut through this quick speed up of it. Now I've built both platforms for the actual farm, so one's going to be going off this way to deposit the crops, and the other one's going to be heading the other way on the floor below. Now I did do a layer of pumpkins just above to keep this layer completely lit up at all times. Now there's glass going along the dark section because obviously it's going to be getting darker in here. These spots would be spawnable, so I put glass down to prevent the spawns, but I thought I'd bring you back to show you how I'm doing the actual dirt pushing. So you get some dirt there. You need to put the hopper minecart down, and you actually need to try to break the track just underneath. Now that track will go obviously along the... Let's just block that in quickly. Bring this over. That's gonna... the track's just gonna go along the hopper chain and end up over there for the time being. But we need to actually get a piston in here, like I saw, and grab the button, just grab another piece of that, push that in like so, and then dash your minecart in the dirt, and then you can just block it in like so. Now obviously we're going to want our water source here, so we want to build around that. Like so. And then we just still need to put in our little observer thing, which I showed you before. But yeah, we'll jump back to the next speedy up bit. And we're back, guys. Now, as you can probably tell, the farm itself looks completely different to what you saw just in the clips beforehand, and that's because I've had to rebuild the entire thing again from scratch. For some reason, when I closed my game, it just didn't save it, and then when I reopened it, it synced the old save, like to the point before where I'd even started building it. So yeah, it cost me about 2.5 hours worth of my time to rebuild it. But I thought, considering that I rebuild it, I'll try to rebuild it a little bit better and a little bit more cosmetic. So I've wrapped underneath with stairs. As you can probably tell, I've made both of the drop chutes on the same side. So they're stacked one on top of the other now. So the redstone's just over on this side here. And we've got a hopper chain just coming down here leading into the chest, so both of them are going to be feeding in here. It's coming to night time and it's not really what I wanted to do. Also, because the villager breeder is still currently sort of working, I took 2 of the farmers out. I've got 1 farmer still in there who should be able to breed with the others that are still in there. So you've got a couple of white coats and what's that one? And that one looks like another farmer baby. So yeah, once that little farmer baby's grown up, I'm gonna fix the actual breeder, take away the blocks, and then they start being flushed back down. Considering it's still kicking out villagers, and I have no idea why, because I've got well over about 30 villagers in this area now, easily. But it's time to release these guys and see if that villager breeder there is going to affect it, and also to see if the level below is going to affect the guy at the top. So we want to put this one here. Now both of these are going to have potatoes in their inventory. Now the top one obviously ain't too much of a concern as long as I manage to get him out of it. That's what I'm worried about, is that he's trying to beeline it for the actual village, or the fake village that's over there for the breeder. Which means I may have no other choice but to tear it down. Let me have a quick think. Yeah, he doesn't seem to want to do anything but to get back over to his village, which means I might not just have a choice but to tear it down now. So what I can do is just take away the actual village precursor, which are these doors here. It'd be a lot quicker if I had my axe on me, which I'll put away. Where did I put it? In. Awesome. And thank you. Yeah, let me get rid of these doors. This will get rid of the fake village up here. And hopefully that will stop that farmer from wanting to beeline it back over here. But it will also break the villager breeder underneath. So this area here is no longer counted as a village. Now I may have to leave the area and re-render it for him to take effect. Quickly grab a bite to eat. And fly away. I had a feeling that that was going to be an issue, which is how comes that was one of the reasons that I wanted to get rid of the breeder from there anyway. Because I didn't want to put the farms too close to where all of my town and area is. And I wanted it relatively near the actual sorter where I want them fed into. So these would be active while I'm down at the sorter. But it looks like that he's quite happy and content now. He's gone and he's started doing his thing over there. Now, can we... Yeah, what he'll do, he'll farm one, see the empty spot, and then he'll go place that. So that one seems to be working fine. Now, it's the one underneath that I was a little bit worried about, because it's carrots, and this guy's going to have potatoes in his inventory already. So what we want him to actually do is clear out his inventory first. Now, because they tend to want to plant crops over harvesting them, if they've got them in their inventory, is that we actually want to be able to get this guy out of his minecart without breaking any of the crops here. Okay, I think we're not going to have any choice but to get rid of one of the crops. There we go. Now he's probably going to plant some potatoes, which we don't want him to do. Carrots. I beat you to it. Hopefully he sees the little plot over there, which should be. Yep. There he goes. Now he should just stand there and empty his complete inventory of potatoes, and then he should then go to farming the carrots. Now, are you planting carrots? That's the main thing that I'm concerned about. He tends to be harvesting a lot more than they usually do. Now, if you're wondering how comes I've got the glass blocks here, it's because the villagers don't see lily pads as a full block. So if there's a plantable spot here, or a crop that he wants to harvest here and he's here, he'll actually just get stuck standing here, wanting to get to that one point. Yeah. Another thing that I'm concerned about is that he's going to be recognising empty spots up top. But hopefully it doesn't become an issue. Now he's heading over there to go throw them in. And happy days. Looks like it's all working. All of this should be spawn proof. We've got the glass down here, so where it does get dark there's no spawnable spots. I don't believe mobs can spawn on tilled soil, so I don't think them spawning down there where it is dark should be much of an issue. Yeah, he's just getting rid of all of the carrots he's picked up. And for some reason I didn't actually put glass there. But yeah, that should be it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see what sort of oh yeah, they're coming in. I think that guy is still emptying his inventory full of potatoes, so yeah, we're gonna have, because they usually carry like about 5.5 stacks of potatoes, and they weren't breeding for a very long time over there. So one of them's probably going to be just that guy who's got the carrots. He's probably going to be there for a little while. But I'm going to have to keep an eye on him to make sure that he doesn't start planting potatoes. But yeah, that should all be it. In between this episode and the next one, I am going to run this hopper chain down into our actual sorter. And I'll probably do a little bit more cosmetic work on this one. Just like put some stilts on it, introduce the spruce wood that we've got on our fortress. Now, nothing should be able to spawn or attack. I've got half slabs all up the top there. Yeah, but I think as a fully auto villager farm for carrots and potatoes, this has come out a treat. A little bit unfortunate I had to build it twice, but that sort of thing happens when you're dealing with Minecraft. You still emptying it? Yeah, you're still emptying the potatoes. Okay, well, I think that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have and it's your first time to the channel, please consider subscribing for future Minecraft content and also art content if you fancy watching them. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.